Hey, what is going on, guys? Shy Guy here, and today I'm going to be bringing y'all my APA Academy Season 2 draft analysis. Now, I was not a part of the APA Academy Season 1. I didn't really even watch a lot of the games or the videos about it, but I joined the server halfway through Season 1. I was asked to be a replacement because I'm a part of the APA, and I'm good friends with a bunch of people in the league. Unfortunately, I turned down because of just think whenever they needed a replacement, it was like I was finishing up school, so I didn't want to get, and I already had a handful of leagues on my plate, so I didn't want to overflow. But I applied for season 2 so I could draft my own team, and we were accepted. Now this season is Ubers, and it is Civil War, which is Indigo. And speaking of Indigo, you're probably wondering why I didn't upload the rest of my games. I just uploaded week 1. That gives me kind of a bad image, I guess, but I just really wasn't intrigued in uploading. This is an upload required league, so I will be uploading all my games and all that stuff, Just probably just gonna upload games. Also doing APA World Cup Wi-Fi, that's another upload required league. So probably gonna get 2 videos on the channel at some point every week, which will be nice. But yeah, let's go into Civil War. Now, this season I wasn't a captain or anything because I wasn't in season 1, and all the captains were from season 1. There were coaches in season 1 that did super well. Obviously, I wasn't in that criteria, but we were picked up by what's the team name called? HE? I don't know how to pronounce it. But that team is, I guess, captained by Aaron2420. Super cool dude. And some of our other team members consist of Lux, JV Westside, Root, Blind Boy, because he's not a man, he's Blind Boy, Alex Cool Rocket, and Mid Pokemaster. That is our team. And of course, you have me, the caboose, I like to call myself. So yeah, that's what we got. Like I said, Ubers League, we have 155 points. That's a lot of points. You might as well just make it a free draft, in my opinion. And I think we ended up with a really solid team. With a lot of mons I wanted to try. I've used before and really enjoy them. Or B, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, let's getting into the draft. We had the first overall pick of the draft, which I think is pretty crazy considering usually in Ubers leagues I have a really late pick, so now I get to try one of the busted things. I get to try one of the busted things, and there were a couple things I was eyeing. Marshadow I know is really good because it's dual stabs, unresisted, and just hits everything so hard with Life Orb. Mecha B2Y is really good. It's super fast. Another thing that's really hard to switch into. There were just a couple other things I was eyeing. How drafting Ubers worked. Out of your 155 points, you can only spend 50 on Ubers. So if you draft, and Ubers range from 30 points to 21 points. So if I drafted a 30-point Uber, I couldn't draft any other Ubers or any other Pokemon that were 121 and above, not 121 and above, which was okay because usually the stuff in 30 is really busted. And we did taking a 30-point Mon, being Yveltal. And in my opinion, Yveltal is the best Uber in the format, easily, no, hands down. This thing is straight busted. Dark Pulse and Dark Aura, pretty much 2-shots anything that's not resisted. Super strong. Oblivion Wings, another busted move, gives you recovery. It's basically like Giga Drain. And yeah. And then on top of that, it's got Sucker Punch, which is great priority. Roost to stay healthy after taking the Life Orb chip, and Stealth Rocks. I think that's really you run. I mean, you could tackle on Heat Wave for a really fat steal, or U-turn if you need to pivot. That's really all that Yveltal runs. Maybe Fighting Move, I guess if you're facing a T-Tar maybe. I don't know. Just a really solid Mon, and it's a great Mon I think to build around. Because while you don't get access to any of the other Ubers, you don't really need to. It's just how strong this thing is. And yeah, I think this is like I said, one of the best Ubers. I think it is the best Uber in my opinion. I mean, that's usually up to debate, or up to what the person thinks. But this thing is just so hard to switch into. like I said, great Pokemon to go around, and that's kind of where we started our draft off. And so, since I was the first pick, and this is a 24-man league, I had to wait, 23 picks in the first round, and 23 more picks in the second round, so that's 46 picks. So yeah, not a lot of stuff was left. Like, obviously, even with getting 2 Ubers, or people being allowed to draft 2 Ubers, Celesteal wasn't there, Coco wasn't there, Lando wasn't there. The mons that you see go at the front of a regular draft. So I couldn't get any of those. But I was looking at stuff like Mega Scizor, because that could be like break fairies that Yveltal can't break. That got taken like super early round 2, which I found kind of weird. But so I did find something I really wanted. It's something I've actually never used. Also, I'm part of a team, like something you see common in leagues I've never drawn, and that's Weather. And so with my next pick, I went with Excadrill. And Excadrill, like I said, never used it. But from what I've seen, it's pretty simple. You get the thing in sand, and you gotta find a switch in. Earthquake, Iron Head, that's great stab. Not really know coverage on it. It's the thing, it's like rock moves. No, gets X's or maybe Poison Jab. I don't remember. I think it does though. But you really don't need Poison Jab when you have X's or and Iron Head. Swords Dance. It gets Aerial Release, so if you're facing like a bulky bug, you get that, and you don't feel like running Rock Slide, so you miss from. I guess, I don't know. On top of that, it just has great utility, rocks, spin, good, okay speed, really high attack, really high HP. Its defenses aren't that great though, and its special attack is you're never running a special Excadrill unless you're like memeing hardcore. But yeah, this obviously helps my removal a bit because you got Yveltal with Defog, which can run Defog, and Drill runs Spin. Fortunately, I'm gonna spoil it right now. This is like the best my removal gets, but it's fine. Hazard Control, rocks. Like I said, Excadrill is a pretty solid rocker. Normally, Excadrill is gonna like look down as a steel because it's not very bulky, and usually like you have like a bulky steel to pair with your FDS core. I think that's fine, especially like Excadrill breaks a lot of things that Yveltal doesn't like. Like Oblivion Wing is it hitting rocks, electrics, and steels. Earthquake just blows through all those. Dark Pulse isn't hitting fairies hard. Boom, we got Iron Head, just 2-tap it. Get it out the way for Yveltal to just start breaking. So these two can break for each other and end up, like, if I can get Yveltal to break, I don't know, like, the grasses with Oblivion Wing, I could just, like, get Excadrill and Sand and just start sweeping. Like a Life Orb. I think there's just 2 really solid mons. And then to pair with these, if you notice, Excadrill is really slow. Not really slow, but like 88, that's kind of slow. And Yveltal's 99, so I need something that's like super rocket fast, help force Scarfers and shit. So we went with Mega Alakazam, which is blazing fast at 150, has a stupid high special attack at 175, and then its other stats are kind of lackluster. I think it has a really good special defense, like 100 or 95, but like its HP is super low, its attack is abysmal, which again, you're never running that. And its defense means that it's kind of easy to get pursuit trapped. Yeah, that's kind of the problem, but super fast. Has a lot of utility. Normally the standard Alakazam is probably gonna be like 3 attacks to cover. But you also get stuff like Taunt, Disable. Normally Disable is not looked at as like a super common move, but if you could like disable the Pokemon that has the Dark move, just disable it and you could just start setting up the Calm Lines, Recover. Obviously has okay coverage, Psychic, Slash Off, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast. I think it gets Energy Ball. I know it gets Energy Ball, Thunderbolt. I think Signal Beam sounds about right. Hidden Powers. I think, like I said, fast. It's gonna force Scarfers, and when you're forcing Scarfers, stuff that usually means Scarfers can be a more offensive mon for like Yveltal to break or Excadrill to break. And I think that helps out the team a lot. I really like the synergy with these first 3 picks. I guess you could say if I'm not bringing if I'm like a Choice Scarf Yveltal, and I would just want to be clicking Dark Pulse every time something comes in, I need to break the fighting. I guess. I mean, Alakazam would definitely help out with that, just being able to break the Psychic with, not the Psychic, break the fighting. It just puts a lot of pressure. Like you can see, I have my first 3 picks just put so much pressure on my opponents to find like switch-ins to everything, and it's gonna start getting hard. But I do have a couple things that I struggle with. Bulky grounds is one, and bulky darks is another. And I actually patched that up with my next 2 picks. So with the next pick, and also helps with my FDS core with the Excadrill, picked up Kyurem. Kyurem isn't a mon I'm super familiar with, but I've used Kyurem Black a lot. Not a lot. I've used Kyurem Black a decent amount. I know how that works. Kyurem is my first Z user, because we have allowed 3 Z users, one that's 20 points and below, one that's 15 points and below, and one that's 10 points and below. Kyurem is 11 points, so it is my 15 and below user, which I think Kyurem works pretty well with Zooms, especially out of all the mons that were like in its range. You know, Icy and Z's really hard, Dragon Z is really hard to switch into. And then you can like cover one of its coverage moves like Z Flash Cannon, Z Earth Power. You know, breaks like bulky fairies and even steals, which are usually the things that Kyurem is like. Kyurem's a good life for user. Choice Scarf, Choice Specs. It's got a very common sub roost set, because obviously Dragon Ice isn't looked at as a very like defensive typing because it's ice, but you know, there's just water, there's just grass, there's just electric. And there are a lot of bulky waters that I can just freely sub up on, take the Scalds, and you know, just be able to chip them down with like Ice Beam, Earth Powers. Although bulky waters don't really like that. I can also look at Toxic. Kyurem has a nice base speed at 95, which is between Excadrill's 88 and Yveltal's 99. So, you know, which I think is a good gap to fill with Kyurem at 95. And you know, I think it's just, like I said, breaks grounds, because Excadrill can struggle with grounds. I guess Zam with Psychic, because most grounds are physically defensive. Like it's like a Crocodile, that can tend to be kind of problematic. And Kyurem just deals with that in my next pick too. So I like the Kyurem pick. And then the next mon, I didn't. Basically, after Yveltal, Excadrill, Alakazam, I started like struggling what I wanted to think, and I was just brainstorming some ideas. And someone on my team, I think it was Blinn, he suggested I go with Terrakion. Because Terrakion, oh boy, love me some Terrakion. Terrakion's the GOAT. And basically, Terrakion, I've used Terrakion before. I think it was in APA Indigo Season 1. And that was like my first time ever drafting. I ended up drafting it like round 1, which is really early for it. But it was all worth it whenever I got 27 kills with that thing. That thing was stupid. Choice Scarf, Choice Band, Rock Polish, Sword Stance. That's yeah, those like their only sets you're running often. And sometimes you take Rock Polish and Sword Stance on the same set. But that's all it needs to just destroy teams. Obviously, Terrakion's Caesar because it loves the nuke. If you're bringing a Sword Stance or Rock Polish set. Again, kind of similar to Excadrill, it doesn't have a lot of coverage. It's dual stab and like Stone Edge and close combat. And then you might pack like X-Scissor, Poison Jab, Iron Head, Send Headbutt maybe, Earthquake. That's all you're really running with Excadrill. Excadrill also gets rocks. Not Excadrill. Terrakion also gets rocks. And normally you look at Terrakion as like a poor rocker because it wants to run those offensive moves. But I see Terrakion as a rocker like I see a Lycanroc Dusk as a rocker. Lycanroc Dusk and Terrakion, they're both mons that force a lot of switch-ins, or switch-outs. And so on the turn you switch out, you just get your rocks up and not have to worry about it. I do have solid rockers on this team. I don't think I have to worry about bringing Terrakion with rocks. But just an option. Like I said, Sword Dance, it's really hard to switch into. If it gets that Rock Polish, just clean up games. It's just a great breaker, break cleaner. It's great. I love Terrakion. Probably one of my favorite mons to use competitively. And I want to see if I can get that 27 kill status again like I did one of the other APA leagues. Will I? Probably not. I don't know. I'm not usually the kind of guy that likes to get all his kills on one mon, except for that one time. But you never know. Let's see what we can get. And then at this point, I think my draft gets a little bit weaker. Like right now, my draft looks pretty nice. You know, Yveltal is a great Pokemon. You got the Excadrill, Megazam, Kyurem, Terrakion. They all have great synergy together. Got good Choice Scarf options. Got okay removal options. Breaking power is nice. But after this point, I'm also gonna get some bulk for some mons. And I noticed a couple mons like Excadrill that are like, you know, you might need Excadrill in like your bulky steel or bulky ground roll. Maybe a Wish Pastor could be nice. Also, fairies are starting to go. Might want to get mine soon. And Cleric could be nice because you don't want like your Drill getting burnt, or your Terrakion getting burnt, or anything. Nothing on my team likes getting burnt or toxic, so Cleric's nice. And so I went with the Aromatisse in round 6. Aromatisse, I love Aromatisse. I've used it in low tiers before. It's just so good. It's not fat like, say, Clefable, and it doesn't have like great coverage like Clefable, but I think it's got great value for 6 points. That's insane. I think this thing could be like 8 or 9 points. I'd still probably draft it. Obviously, like I said, usually your standard sets can be like Moonblast, Heal Bell, Wish, Protect, and you bring that almost every time you bring it, and like physically defensive. But you gotta watch out for this thing because one thing that throws off teams like offensive fairies, and Aromatisse is a pretty nasty Trick Room Nasty Plot set with like Moonblast and like HP Fire or Psyshock to break poisons. That thing hits pretty hard. I've used it before. I've seen it just clean games up and just break. It's really good. It's not fat, but you can EV it to take 2 hits from almost anything. And I thought it, again, finished off my Fairy Dragon Steel Core. I thought that was always, Fairy Dragon Steel Core I think is a really important core in Draft League. Just like Steel especially, and Fairy, because then Dragons just run through your team. And Dragon's nice to break the other opponent's team, so. Aromatisse for 6 points, thought it had good value, and I think it's going to put some work. Next pick, I think I was going to go to Decidueye, but it got sniped, and I was super sad about that. Decidueye gave me some removal with Defog. Decidueye gets Roost, so one thing I was looking at was getting like a Sand Setter for my Excadrill, because, Excadrill doesn't say need sand. It really likes sand because it gives you that option. But you don't need sand, but I really wanted sand, whether it be Gigalith or Hippopotas. Hippowdon was gone, and I believe both Mega T-Tar and regular T-Tar were gone. So I was probably going to draw something low tier regarding a Sand Setter. And Decidueye gets Roost. It's one of like the few grasses that doesn't have to rely on Synthesis. And Synthesis has 8 TP and gets halved in Sand, so I thought that was really nice. Priority of Shadow Sneak, just a good speed tier to fit on my team, because right now I have a really big gap between Aromatisse at like 30 and Excadrill at 88. I need to start filling that up with a couple Mons, and I do in like some of my picks. So I need something that fit in the role. I needed a Grass because Ground's kind of annoying for my team. Don't want to have to rely on Yveltal as my switch-in every time. It just fit my team perfectly, but it got sniped, and I'm kind of really sad about that. And at this point, I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't want to stall in the draft, so I was looking at stuff. I was like, well, both people are going. Electric type's nice. A Pivot's nice. Maybe another Cleric, so Aromatisse isn't forced into that roll every week. Those could be nice options. And you know what fit the bill? Even though it's kind of early for this Mon, it fit all the budget. It also gives me a Water immunity and electric immunity. Lantern's pretty good, not gonna lie. It doesn't have like the most outstanding stats, which is kind of why it's like lower tier. It's got really good HP. Okay, Spadef. Good enough Spadef's like an assault that can ball a lot of Mons. Defensively, it's not the greatest, but like I said, fat HP stat. It's kind of like Aloe, where you can run maybe max defense, max special defense, and not run a lot of HP investment. I think that's something else I really like. And then it doesn't have great special attack, but it does have like a solid move pool. Scald, Volt Switch, D-Bolt, Ice Beam, Icy Wind. Normally you don't run. Icy Wind's not a really common move, but it's good for speed control, just slowing stuff down for like my Yveltal at 99, which is the fastest. My Terrakion at 108, which is fast, but it's not super fast. There's going to be things that outspeed Terrakion and can revenge it. Mega Zam, people are going to think Scarfer, if I Icy Wind the Scarfer, that could be really nice. So, I think speed control is really important for this team. Lantern provides a little of that with Icy Wind. No, I don't have like webs or anything, but Lantern is good for that. And I like Lantern, not just like as a Pokemon because it's really cute. I think it fits the team well. I don't like how it's my only water at this point. And I don't like how I don't have the best ground switch-ins, but I figured, might as well get it now and not want to risk it getting sniped. Next up at round 8, so just waiting, again, another 46 picks to go, and I pick up Talonflame. I was looking for value in like the lower tiers, and Talonflame at 6 is a crime. It really is. Sword Stance breaks. You get a Sword Stance up, and Brightbird, Flare Blitz, it's hard to find a switch in. You know, you normally look at like a rock type, but look at what I have so far. Look at rock types. I have Drill, I have Terrakion. Those are two great ways of breaking rocks. Lantern, I guess, with like water moves. Talonflame is one of my other Z users. I can see Brightbird or Z Flare Blitz. I don't want to have to take a lot of recoil, or just need something to break the fat mob. I think that's a really good option. Like I said, 6 points. Unfortunately, my biggest complaint with Talonflame on the team is I said my removal doesn't get much better than Yveltal and Excadrill. If I want Talonflame to like flourish on this team, which I think it really can, I do need to make sure that Stealth Rocks stay off the field. And that's kind of important. But, what's it called? Gale Wings isn't like the biggest. It is what made Talonflame like super godly in Gen 6. But it's not the only ability you can run. Flame Body, I think, is a great ability. It's going to scare stuff from going for U-turn. And Talonflame is a great U-turn switch-in. Also has stuff like Will-O-Wisp. It gets Roost like almost every other flying type. Provides me another pivot with U-turn. That's nice for Zam, getting in Zam and Terrakion and Yveltal. And you especially bringing in like rock types for Terrakion, which is super good. Because Terrakion can actually set up on a couple rock types. I think it's just a great pick. Like I said, Stealth Rock is kind of big. I just thought I needed a fire. I don't love having fires on my team, because defensively it's an okay type, but like offensively it's not that great. But Talonflame's, I think, a great offensive on. 6 points, good value. And it also provides me defensive options and just some good utility. Oh yeah, Fast Taunter, that's another thing. I thought it had a good benefit. Obviously, another thing, it fits speed tier between Terrakion and Mega Zam at 126, which is pretty fast. On top of that, it has Priority Brave Birds at full HP, which is super nice. And so at this point, I was worried about like underspending, if you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong with having a couple extra points, but I was fearing I'd have like 15 or 20 points left on the board still, which is pretty bad because usually underspending leads to like your team being a lot weaker or underwhelming. Like I said, I thought I was finding a good value, like 6 point Rumble Chase, 6 point Talonflame. And my team was looking okay at this point, speed tier wise. Obviously, if I get like some more Volk, that'd be great, because right now it's mainly a lot of offense with a little Volk. And I pick a really good Pokemon, and another Psychic type, and another Mono Psychic type, Uxie. Uxie gives me a lot of things, and normally you think Uxie looks weird on this team because of the Mega Zam right there. Uxie just fits on the team really nice. Gives me another rocker, so I'm not forced to bring Drill and Terrakion routes every week. Gives me a ground immunity that isn't weak to Stone Edge. Have another pivot. Have another Cleric. Heal Bell. I got a lot of Clerics on this team. Just a lot of utility. T-Wave. Memento is really big for my setup options like Terrakion. What else? Its coverage is pretty whack. I know this thing, it's like normally you just don't like Psychic and the occasional like knockoff U-turns you usually see. But I think this thing gets like Fire Punch and I want to say like Ice Punch or Ice Beam. I can't remember which one. And I think it's like Grass Moves and just some other wacky stuff. This thing like can throw you off guard. Offenses are pretty bad. I think they're both 70 or 75. Defenses are really nice though, both at 130. Things be able to take some hits. I got a Wisher to keep my Uxie healthy. Just provides benefit for the team. Kind of adding to my Dark weakness a little bit, but I mean, I have already Yveltal that resists. Terrakion scares any knockoff. Romantis can take some knocks or some dark moves. Doesn't like losing its item, but if it's for the benefit of keeping my Uxie a bit healthier, by not getting a lot of chip off Zam, it's perfectly fine. And just like my team's, it's looking really nice. Next up, I wasn't liking how Lantern was my only water, especially since with Lantern as my only water, it's weak to ground. I don't like having the waters that are weak to ground. So I do patch that up with Feraligatr. And 12 point Feraligatr is kind of expensive. but I think they were like a couple of like tier 3 mons. And normally Feraligatr is put in like tier 3 because you don't see it attracted that often, and people realize it's not that scary. But I think Feraligatr on this team is really nice. Like I said, Excadrill and Terrakion like having the bulky grounds broken. Feraligatr does that super well. It's Sheer Force, Life Orb, Waterfalls, gets D-Dance and Sword Stance. Fortunately, don't have Z moves on it, but it doesn't need it. It just needs Life Orb, just break. And it gives me Aqua Jet, another form of priority. Didn't have a lot of that. I think right now it's just like Talonflame with Brave Bird, Gale Wings, and like Terrakion, Quick Attack, and Yveltal Sucker Punch. So giving Aqua Jet is nice. Some other coverage moves like Super Power, Crunch, Ice Punch, Waterfall, Liquidation, and like setup sets. It's pretty solid. And normally it's not looked at as like bulky, but I've seen like Feraligatr can't take hits because it's got like 100 defense, no case, okay, special defense stat. I think a nice HP stat from what I call it. It's kind of slow, but that kind of helps me because I could really use a. I don't think I had anything between Lantern at like 67 and Excadrill at 88, so that fills up that gap, which helps. Again, it gives me other water. I mean, Feraligatr isn't like the best defensive mon, and doesn't really run like defensive sets often, but I think it can. But obviously, the main thing it's going to be doing is D-Dancing or Swords Dancing, breaking or cleaning. That's pretty much what you're going to do with it. And I'm not going to bring it like every week or often, because, like I said, okay mon, but don't want to be bringing it often. Normally, because it's kind of, I think, it's not that great of a mon, to be honest. I like it. I like its design. I think it's my favorite Johto starter, but I don't know. We'll see what we can do with it. We'll bring us. It can have a good matchup and just D-Dance up and just win the game. Then next up, still need my Sand Setter. Let's grab it now. Let's go with Gigalith. Gigalith gives me a rocker, one other rocker with Uxie, and Excadrill and Terrakion. Like I said, it sets sand up for Excadrill, and on top of that, Terrakion gets a Spadef boost in the sand along with Gigalith, so Terrakion can set up a bit better on special attackers and some other stuff. And we get like Stone Edge, Earthquake, good at Edgequake Mon. It's kind of slow, but under say Trick-Room set up in a Rotis or Nuxie, we just start Edgequaking with Band Gigalith and hit really hard. Top that like Explosion and Super Power. I think that's all it really gets coverage with. Does it get? I'm pretty sure it gets Rock Polish. Obviously, getting 2 rock types isn't the most ideal, but they do different things. Gigalith's going to be more defensive, Terrakion's going to be way more offensive, and that kind of helps. And then finally, last type, I'm missing a couple types. It was like Grass and Poison, but grasses are way more important. Finish out the FDS core, not the FDS, Fire Water Grass core. Poison type's nice, but not a lot of my Pokemon are affected by Toxic Spikes. Yveltal isn't, Excadrill isn't, Talonflame isn't, Uxie isn't. That's 4 of my mons. And then I have a bunch of Clerics. So I don't see T-Spikes being a huge threat, and so I was more focused on the Grass type. And like I said, I was looking for a Grass type that didn't rely on Synthesis, and in the 3-point section I found Go-Goat, and I think Go-Goat, it's not the glue that's going to hold its team together. It's not going to be the Pokemon I bring every single week to be my ground switching. But Go-Goat is, well, the goat. Gets Milk Drink. It doesn't have Prime Synthesis. Gets a good bulk up set because you can start bulking up. And then like Horn Leech for recovery. You can toxic stuff. Get some okay coverage moves. Earthquake for steals. Aerial Ace for other bulky grasses. I think it's rock moves, then Headbutt for bulky poisons. Go-Go can throw something off guard. I think it's 60 base speed or 65. So it does give me something a little bit slower than Lantern. But something like above Gigalith and Rotis. And that's our draft. Let me know what y'all think of it, personally, and just about the video below. Like I said, I think this is an okay team. I know my captain Aaron was really liking it. Personally, I think it's a good team. I think we can get a good record with this. I'm aiming. Personally, my personal goal is 6-6, but if I do better, I'd love to do better. But looking at some of the other players in this league, I know a lot of people here are strong. a lot of people here play more Wi-Fi than I do. I'm mainly a Showdown player. I've been playing Showdown for about a year now, and I started playing Wi-Fi in like a couple months back, I think. But yeah, I'm not that experienced with Wi-Fi. Hopefully we do good for the team. And yeah, I think that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you hated the video, give it a dislike. Just subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You want to continue seeing the rest of my series. And if you have any suggestions about my content, post in the comments below. Want to comment about my team, or if you want to say what my record would be, whatever, just post it. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Out.